Hey folks, welcome back to Demand Reviews. Today we're going to unbox and review Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the deluxe version from Spider-Man No Way Home by Hot Toys. This review got delayed thanks to Canada Post holding my item for 1 week despite the express shipping, so thank you Canada Post. I ordered this directly from Hong Kong, so it's probably the first batch. That makes me a bit nervous because apparently the mask has some problems, in the first batch at least. And I want this to be a good product considering I sold 3 Hot Toys to buy it. Before I pop this in the light box for a detailed examination, may I request that you hit the like button and subscribe button to support my channel. Here's the front of the box. This is a very familiar design for anyone who's bought a Hot Toys No Way Home figure. This is a slip case around the actual windowed box. Got Tobey right in the center looking pretty good. Doc Ock Tentacle, Pumpkin Bomb, Doctor Strange Magic at the back. Some branding over here. You have the Hot Toy Special Edition logo up top. Same two-tone color design on the side of the box, more Doctor Strange magic, some here too. The two-tone design continues at the back of the box. A little bit of Doctor Strange magic up top. Got some warnings, some legalese, some branding at the back. It's time to lift the cover. And you lift the cover and holy crap, that base is massive. Sandman looks huge. Holy crap. And yeah, the Tobey suit does look pretty good. We've also got a lot of hands here. You've got a tentacle. Got the Tobey head. Back of the box, very familiar. I would dare say it's the same as the Lizard Dio box and the integrated Spider-Man box. Lots of Doctor Strange magic at the back and just some branding at the front. The print quality, of course, as usual, very good from Hot Toys. I just noticed that it says integrated suit. This is not the integrated suit, right guys? I think that's a pretty big printing mistake. If this is indeed another integrated suit for Tobey, just let me know, but I think that's a printing mistake. First impression of the portrait, and it's not nearly as good as what they previewed. I feel like the paint apps are a bit weak, but compared to the other 2 sculpts they've done for the No Way Home figures, it's not bad. Let's have a quick look at the suit now. First impression is it looks really nice. So on camera, and I know it sounds like a cliche, the connection between the neck and the suit looks very unsightly, but it looks much better in hand. For some reason, it looks worse on camera. It's not perfect, but doesn't look nearly as bad in hand. I'm grateful that the webbing meets between his eyes rather than on the nose, which is the issue with a lot of these masks. So I'm grateful for that. The eyes look okay, don't look quite accurate. The blue is quite dark, which is a change that was in the No Way Home films as opposed to the original Tobey Maguire suit. So that looks fine too. First impression, I really like this suit. I'm grateful to have it, but it could be better. Case in point, that seam looks really unsightly on camera or on hand. So I'm gonna try and fix it by stretching out the fabric a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Well, I think I made it worse. So I'm gonna keep working on it. The other issue is while the webbing where it meets between the eyes is decent on mine, it should be higher. At least it's not on the nose, but it should be higher. I don't know if I can fix that by pulling it up, but I'm gonna try. Comparing it to how it's supposed to look, it's still just a little lower than it should be, so I'm not too broken up about it. So always a good idea to look at the manual to avoid damaging your toy and to know how to articulate it correctly, how to assemble the base correctly, etc. Tells you how to change the heads, equip the strings, articulate your toy, how to hold the mask. Tells you don't play around with the ankles too much or you'll damage them. So this stand does not come with the deluxe set. However, I do get the diorama, and it teaches you how to assemble the diorama and also tells you how to articulate the diorama, which you can do a little bit. that's pretty much it. It's a very short manual actually. Here are all the accessories that Hot Toys Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man comes with. Got a tray of hands, got a tray of webs, and of course these accessories Hot Toys recycles with every Spider-Man, so they are all familiar. This is the bonus tentacle and claw accessory that comes with this set, and you attach it on Sandman. This is the cure, which turns Sandman back to normal. Here's the sculpt. Mask. Mask is just a mere accessory, it doesn't fit on the head, of course. And these extra wrist pegs. Thank you, Hot Toys. If you have the Doc Ock toy or the integrated spider suit toy, then you probably have at least one of these tentacles. You can articulate them. They're very nicely painted. And it's a really good solid accessory to have. This is the claw that fits at the end of the tentacle. And again, very nicely painted. Has several points of articulation. So you can get some fun poses, some fun play value. I like how that red is painted. Looks kind of ominous. This is the device that Tobey used to cure Sandman. I think it was Tobey. But very nicely crafted. I like how the wiring is painted. Really stands out, the red and yellow wiring. And nice solid plastic. Here are all the different type of webs that Tobey gets. You've seen all these before if you've bought a Spider-Man figure from Hot Toys in the last few years. Standard stuff. Very useful though. You can get all sorts of different poses. You can do like a hanging pose, you can do a shooting pose. You can also attach this to one of these for a more dynamic shooting pose. This is a standard set of Spider-Man hands. Let's start with the good. You have lots of options. You have finger pointy hands, you have gripping hands, you have shooting hands, you have punching hands, and you have this hand to hold the mask. I believe that we got pretty much the same thing with Amazing Spider-Man. And if you want to attach one of the webbings, I believe you detach a part from the wrist here, and you attach this one, and then you can attach the web. So that's the good stuff. The bad stuff is the paint apps on this do not match the suit. And it's very disappointing from Hot Toys. Just like Amazing Spider-Man 2, they had an opportunity to get this right. There's just no excuse. The hands do stand out like a sore thumb. The mask, very nice accessory to have. You can hold it while he's got the portrait on. Looks pretty good. Nicely crafted, nice stretchy material, feels high quality. And if you look at it from the front, this is the Spider-Man look. Of course, you can't put this on the head, but it's still a really cool accessory to have. Overall, I think this is a good sculpt. It's not amazing. It's probably not as good as the previews that we saw when they first started taking pre-orders for this figure, but it's still a very decent sculpt. The paint applications could be better. They do lack a bit of detail, especially on the skin, but I like the stubble, looks pretty nice. Like how the eyes are painted, very intense look. Reminds me of when he was talking down Peter Parker from killing Green Goblin at the end of the film. I love the haircut. Very youth pastor look. They've done a good job with the wavy mold in the hair, and they've done a great job with the paint apps too. Side profile, it's not bad, it's good. But I feel front on, it looks much better. Quick look at all three Peter Parkers together. You've got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and of course Tom Holland. And they all look good together. Unfortunately, Andrew Garfield is a bit too young. That's because they couldn't get the license for No Way Home, so they did Amazing Spider-Man 2 again. But they do look good together. Here we have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man straight out of the box in a museum pose. And overall, I am happy with the suit. I do think that this could have been a bit better, the connection between the neck and the body. However, it does look worse in pictures and on the camera. It looks much better in person. The color doesn't seem too bad, though there is that neckline. I wish it was more subtle, but it's still not too bad. I also think I'm a bit lucky that I got a mask where the webbing meets near the eyes, above the nose certainly, and I've seen some where it meets much lower and looks much more awkward. I'm happy with this, though my supplier has offered to exchange the head when they do a updated version. I think the body looks pretty good. I think it does look like Tobey's body from No Way Home. What I find absolutely unacceptable though is the hand. In fact, all the hands. They have just not done a great job with painting them. They do not look like they match the suit at all. The color is very off. It's very off-putting. In fact, for me, this is more off-putting than the issue with the nose or the issue with the point of the neck where the mask meets the body. But yeah, the side profile is pretty good. Spider butt looks great. I love the Spider-Man logo. And I think that the neck seam looks much worse from the back. Good thing I'm not going to look at it from the back. But yeah, that's certainly very unsightly from the back. What I really love is how seamless the feet are. In some Spider-Man toys, they do tend to bunch up the cloth, but it looks pretty good here. So overall, I am happy with the soft goods. I'm going to take another look at the suit, but this time with the prime lens, with the portrait lens. And yeah, the suit looks really nice. Look at how those ankles look. I've actually been working on the head seam, and I feel like it's a bit more seamless, pun intended. Yeah, I wish the cut at the neck was a little less obvious, but still not bad in hand. The rest of the suit I think looks fantastic, except for those unsightly hands. What were you thinking, Hot Toys? As mentioned, the neckline does look worse from the back though. That being said, again, I love how those ankles look. Spider butt looks great. The symbol looks good too. Here's another look at Tobey, but this time he's got the mask in his hand and he's got the portrait on. And I think unmasked he looks really good. I feel like the head sculpt is growing on me, and I like the intense look too. Again, the neckline, not perfect, but outside of the camera looks pretty okay. A closer look with the portrait lens, and I think the sculpt in this pose looks pretty good. Lots of detail on this suit. I love all the web lines. The mask looks pretty good too. I think it's a really cool pose actually. It's a very simple pose, but it works. Side profile I think is not as good as front on. In fact, if you look at it from the side, you might not even realize it's Tobey. But the rest of the body looks pretty good from the side, except for those hands. The Sandman diorama is absolutely stunning. What an eye-catching base they've made. Look at that mold, fantastic. Really does look like a sand monster just tearing through the ground, taking some debris with it. Got some stones on his hands. This is a special edition, so you can attach the Doc Ock tentacle here. It doesn't make much sense, but you can probably imagine them fighting with each other. I love how nice this looks, very rusty. Same with this part over here. And you can articulate it a little bit. Not too much, but you can get some articulation. There's only one problem with it, and that's that it's shedding sand. It's not a huge deal, but when you play around with it, you're gonna get some of this artificial sand on your hand. And the worry for me was it going inside my camera lens, but so far so good. So yeah, other than the issue with the sand coming off, and not too much, but it does come off a little bit, I really love this base. A closer look with the portrait lens shows you just how good the mold is, how good the texture on this diorama is. Just take a look at how good those teeth look, so sandy. Time to look at the articulation. Hot Toy Spider-Man figures usually have excellent articulation. Unfortunately, the suit can get damaged if you leave a joint in a position for too long. Let's start with the head. Tilts left, tilts right, turns left, turns right. Looks down quite nicely. Looks up quite nicely too. Nice ratchet, lovely. Shoulder goes up. Of course it goes back down. Moves forward. Moves back. Double jointed elbow. There's a swivel at the bicep too. And of course moves quite freely. Waist tilts left. Waist tilts right. 3 positions of ab crunch. It's back. Center. Forward. Waist twist left. Twist right. Leg kicks forward. Kicks back. Double jointed knee, but I don't want to push it too far. Don't want to risk tearing the fabric. Some ankle articulation. Of course, legs stretch quite nicely, but you don't want to keep that in an awkward position for too long. I'll give the articulation a thumbs up. I'm very happy with it. You just have to return the suit back to normal after a few hours and just smooth it out a bit and you should be okay. It should look good as new. Time for some poses in the toy room, and here is Tobey with his spider sense tingling. He's getting his mask on. Thinking about where to go next. Is it up? Firing off a web. Firing his spider juice on some bad guys. Battling Sandman. Getting together with the rest of the spider people. Doing some size comparisons now, and I think all 3 look great together. You have integrated suit Spider-Man on the left, you have friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in the center, and you have Amazing Spider-Man 2 2.0 on the right. You can tell that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's neck connection is the most visible, even though Amazing Spider-Man 2 also has the same neck system. For some reason, it just looks more unsightly on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and they could have definitely done a better job with this. What would a Spider-Man review be without a Spider-Man pointing meme pose? Another comparison, this time with Days of Future Past Wolverine by Hot Toys. These 2 look pretty good together. Here is Spider-Man now with his old frenemy, Green Goblin. And again, these 2 look good together. Before we get to the final score, I just want to say that I put this suit through the ringer in some very dynamic poses, and while there was some temporary creasing, I smoothed it out, and the suit from the front and the back looks just like new. My final score for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Deluxe is going to be 3 out of 5 stars. There's a lot to like about this No Way Home toy. The diorama is nothing short of stunning. The toy has really good articulation, and the suit feels durable. The likeness is good enough to the OG of movie Spider-Mans to make you feel like a kid again. However, for such an expensive set, there are some disappointments. Although my mask is decent and I'm lucky, some masks are more flawed than others, with visible seams and design flaws in the webbing. The Tobey sculpt, while good, is not Hot Toys' best work, and pales in comparison to the Tobey Maguire sculpt previews. Meanwhile, the Sandman diorama sheds sand, which means you'll have to clean up yourself regularly. Finally, not having the regular base is inexcusable in this expensive deluxe set. Overall, this is the best Tobey Spider-Man toy out there, but it has several flaws and it is quite pricey. Compare this to the Batman toy, which was nearly perfect only because of competition from InArt to Hot Toys. If someone from Hot Toys is watching, I just want to say, with great power comes great responsibility. That's it guys, that's my review. Thank you so much for watching. Please stick around for more Spider-Man poses, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons.